How ancient humans survived without maps. No map, no compass, no GPS, no trail markers, no roads, just land, stretching in every direction, ancient wild unbroken land, and somewhere out there, home, an ancient human stood alone, miles from their group, in unfamiliar territory, and had to find their way back, without a single tool we would recognize. The methods they used were more sophisticated than anything in your pocket today. First, understand what being lost meant. It wasn't inconvenient, it wasn't uncomfortable, it was potentially fatal. A wrong direction for half a day could put you in territory with no water, no food, unfamiliar predators, unknown dangers. Ancient humans who got badly lost often didn't come back. This wasn't theoretical danger. This was the consequence. Every single person in every ancient group knew this completely, which is why navigation wasn't a skill. It was survival itself. The first teacher was the sun. Ancient humans read the sun constantly, not occasionally, constantly. Every hour of every day. The sun rises in the east, always. Sets in the west, always. At midday it sits directly south, in the northern hemisphere. These weren't facts learned from a book. They were facts burned into understanding, through years of watching, through elders who corrected every mistake. An ancient human could stop, look at the sun's position, and instantly know. 4 directions, reliably, every single day of their life. But the sun set. And then what? The stars. Ancient humans knew the night sky, the way we know our own neighborhood, not as decoration, as navigation. Specific star clusters marked specific directions, the patterns that never moved, the ones that rotated slowly, the ones that appeared only in certain seasons, told ancient humans exactly where they were, and exactly which way to walk. A group moving at night, across open terrain, could navigate with complete confidence, using only light that was millions of miles away. But stars disappear in cloud, and clouds came often. Then the river spoke. Rivers are nature's highways. They always flow somewhere. They always lead somewhere. Downstream meant lower ground. Lower ground meant larger rivers. Larger rivers meant other groups, known territories, familiar landmarks. An ancient human who found any river was no longer truly lost. They had a direction. They had a guide. They had water. They simply followed. Animals knew the land better than anyone. Ancient humans understood this completely. Animal trails didn't exist randomly. They followed the most efficient paths, between water, between food, between shelter. A well-worn animal trail was a map drawn by thousands of years of animal intelligence. Where deer trails converged, there was usually water nearby. Where bird flocks flew at dawn, there was food or water in that direction. Where insects gathered in specific patterns, there was moisture beneath the ground. Ancient humans read animal behavior, the way we read road signs. Mountains never moved. This sounds obvious, but its importance cannot be overstated. A specific mountain visible from 50 miles away was an anchor point, something absolute, something unmistakable. Ancient humans built their mental maps around landmarks. A 3-peaked ridge to the north, a black cliff face to the east, a river bend shaped like a curve to the south. These weren't descriptions, they were coordinates, as precise as any GPS point. To someone who had memorized them, the landscape was covered in these points, invisible to a stranger, completely readable to someone who belonged there. Smell was a navigation tool. This surprises people, but ancient humans were extraordinarily sensitive to smell. Not because they had better noses, because they paid attention to what their nose told them. Water has a smell. Specific types of vegetation have specific smells. Certain soils, certain animals, smoke from fires, carried on wind, could be detected miles away. An ancient human walking into unfamiliar territory wasn't just using their eyes, they were using everything. Nose reading the air constantly, ears tracking every sound, feet feeling the ground change beneath them. Soil texture changes near water. The ground sounds different over hollow spaces. The body itself was a navigation instrument, calibrated by a lifetime of attention. Trees and plants were signposts. Certain plants only grew in certain conditions, near water, near specific soil types, at specific altitudes. Moss grew on specific sides of trees, in specific directions, in specific regions. The density of vegetation changed, near water sources, near dangerous terrain. Ancient humans read plants, the way a sailor reads waves, not randomly, with complete understanding of what each detail meant. A change in the plants underfoot could tell an ancient human exactly what lay ahead, before they could see it. But all of this, the sun, the stars, the rivers, the animals, the landmarks, the smells, the sounds, the plants, none of it worked without the most important navigation tool. Memory. Ancient humans carried maps inside their heads, not vague impressions, precise, detailed, layered mental maps of territories covering hundreds of square kilometers. Researchers who have studied modern hunter-gatherer groups have documented something extraordinary. These communities can describe terrain they haven't visited in years, with accuracy that rivals modern surveying. Every water source, every dangerous crossing, every reliable food location, every shelter, every landmark, stored in memory with precision that seems almost impossible until you understand how it was built. From the very earliest age, ancient children traveled with adults. Every journey was a lesson. The adult didn't just walk, they narrated. See that rock formation? That means we're 2 hours from water. See where those birds are flying? That's the direction of the river bend. See how the grass changes color here? The ground gets soft ahead. Walk left. Thousands of these observations, over years, layered into a mental map that became more detailed, more precise, more reliable. Every year, the elders held the deepest knowledge. An elder who had traveled this territory for 50 years carried information that was irreplaceable. They remembered paths that hadn't been used in decades, water sources that only appeared in drought years, mountain passes that were only safe in specific seasons. This knowledge was not written anywhere. It existed only in that person, and when they died, part of the map died with them, which is why ancient groups protected their elders, not only from love, from necessity. The elder was a navigation system that could never be rebuilt, only inherited. Before it was gone, ancient navigation was also passed through stories, journey stories, stories describing routes, in the form of narrative, characters moving through specific landscapes, making specific decisions at specific points. These stories weren't entertainment, they were instructions. A child who heard the story of a journey had learned the route without walking it. The narrative was the map. The map was the narrative. They were the same thing. But the most important lesson was the consequence of failure. Ancient children learned this early, not through warnings, through watching. A group member who went the wrong direction, didn't come back for days, came back injured, or didn't come back at all. The lesson didn't need to be spoken. It was visible. Wrong direction, death. Right direction, life. This consequence, this permanent absolute consequence, made ancient human navigation more reliable than almost any technology. Because the cost of error was your life and attention sharpens. When the price of distraction is that high. An ancient human standing alone, in unfamiliar territory, miles from anyone they knew, was not panicking. They were reading sun position, star patterns, river sounds, animal trails, plant changes, wind direction, ground texture, landmark configurations, and somewhere in their memory, a story told by an elder about exactly this kind of terrain and exactly which direction to walk. They turned and walked home.